You know, when you chat with an AI, what you're seeing is really just the tip of the iceberg. Behind that simple text box, there's this whole ladder of increasing power and autonomy. Today, we're going to climb that ladder, all the way from a basic Q&A to entire teams of AI agents working together. So let's break down the four key layers of AI interaction. Okay, so take a look at this. This diagram is basically our map for this whole journey. We're going to start at the top here with the AI workflow you're probably most familiar with, and then we're going to explore each layer going deeper into these more advanced systems, all the way up to what's called agentic AI. You're going to see exactly how each level unlocks a brand new set of capabilities. So here's our game plan. We'll kick things off with the basic workflow. Then we'll see what happens when you add external knowledge. After that, we'll dive into autonomous agents, see how they can actually team up, and then, finally, we'll pull it all together to see the big picture. All right, let's start at the very beginning, the ground floor, if you will. This is the large language model, or LLM workflow. This is probably what you think of when you use a tool like ChatGPT for the very first time. It's really the foundation for everything else. You know, the beautiful thing about this first layer is just how simple it is. The flow is a total straight line. You, the user, give it a prompt, a simple trigger sends it over to the large language model, and boom, you get an output. It's a direct, one-way street from your question to the AI's brain. So here's how it works. It's really straightforward. You ask a question like, hey, what's the capital of France? The AI just dips into its internal knowledge, everything it was trained on, and gives you the answer. But, and this is a big but, it has a huge limitation. It's totally stuck in the past. It only knows what it was taught up to its last training date. It's basically a closed book exam. So, what happens when you need information from like today? Maybe the current stock price or what's happening in the news right now? Well, that's where the next layer comes in. And believe me, it's a huge leap forward in what these things can do. And that brings us to this really important concept, RAG. It stands for Retrieval Augmented Generation. But in plain English, it's all about giving the AI a library card to access a whole universe of outside information, whether that's the live internet or, say, your company's private database. Now look at how the workflow has totally changed. Before the AI even starts thinking about your prompt, there's this brand new retrieval step. It goes out, it searches external data sources, finds the most relevant info, and then it adds that context to your original question. It's literally giving the AI cheat sheets for its answer. So, in short, the AI now does its homework before it gives you an answer. If you ask it to summarize your company's latest quarterly report, it doesn't just guess based on old data. No way. It can now access that specific report, read it in real time, and then give you a perfect summary. This really nails the difference, right? The basic LLM is that closed book exam, just relying on memory. RAG completely transforms it into an open book exam, letting it look up the facts to give you the most current and relevant answers possible. Okay, things are about to get really interesting. What if the AI couldn't just look up information, but could also remember your past conversations, reason about what to do next, and actually take actions on its own? This is where we jump from a simple information retriever to a true assistant. And that, my friends, is what we call an AI agent. It's a system that doesn't just answer a single question. No, you give it a goal, and it figures out all the steps to get there. It acts less like a search engine and a lot more like a proactive team member that actually thinks for itself. So as you can see, the process is no longer a straight line. It's a dynamic loop. The agent can now plan its actions. It can remember past interactions. It can use external tools like your calendar or a travel website. And it can reason about the best path forward to hit that goal. So instead of asking what flights are available, you could just say, find and book me the cheapest flight to London next week. The agent then builds a plan, first check dates, then search flight APIs, then compare the prices, and maybe even use a tool to complete the booking for you. It's all about executing complex, multi-step tasks. All right, let's take that final step. We're climbing to the very top of the ladder now. We've gone from a knowledge base to a researcher to a single autonomous assistant. So what happens when we put these assistants together and get them to collaborate as a team? This is where we get to agentic AI. And honestly, the best way to think about it is you're not just hiring one super capable assistant anymore. You are now managing an entire department of specialized experts. Each agent has a specific role, and they work together to tackle problems that are way bigger than any one agent could handle on its own. So now the workflow is a real team effort. Your prompt might go to a research agent whose whole job is to gather data. Then it passes its findings to a writing agent to draft a report. They're all operating with a shared memory and a common goal, acting just like a highly efficient, specialized team. But you know what? Maybe the most critical part of this whole layer isn't even the AI, it's the human in the loop. This isn't just about automation anymore, it's about augmentation. So as the AI team works on a really complex task, like planning a whole product launch, a person is right there to supervise, provide critical feedback, and ultimately give the final okay. This makes sure the AI's work always stays aligned with human goals. So let's put it all together. We've climbed the entire ladder of AI interaction. Now let's just take a step back and look down from the top to see how each step really builds on the last one. This table just lays it all out perfectly. We started with the basic LLM, just answering from memory. Then RAG gave it an external library. The AI agent gave it the power to plan and act. And finally, agentic AI introduces collaboration and, crucially, human oversight. Each step is truly transformative leap. And this is maybe the single most important thing to remember from all of this. This is an evolution, not a bunch of replacements. An AI agent still uses a core LLM, and an agentic system is made up of individual agents. Each new layer just incorporates the strengths of the ones that came before it. And this all leaves us with a really big question to think about. As we start delegating more and more complex work to these AI systems, our role, well, it evolves. We shift from just being operators of a tool to becoming managers of a team. So the question is, what kind of leaders are we going to be?